Daddy eats lots. Daddy eats lots. Daddy eats lots. Munch, munch, munch.
Hello and welcome to Daddy Eats Last, where we discuss the challenge of being a man in modern society and whatever the hell that even means. I'm Kane, and joining me is Ryan. And it's only Ryan at the moment because Maddie is currently trying to wrestle his children to bed. How are you, Ryan?
Yeah, good. Probably better than Maddie dealing with the challenges of being a man in modern society.
Yeah,
wrestling the children into bed.
Oh, the joys of being a parent.
Indeed.
How's it all going in London town, mate, with coronavirus actually getting quite serious all around the world now, and especially through Europe? What's it like in London?
Yeah, it's borderline pandemonium. People are now sort of starting to raid the shops and all those kind of things. I think what I'm hearing, and it's very likely that we're going to be in the next week or two, probably grounded, for better word or term, to work from home for at least 7 to 14 days. But yeah, just saw that France is shut down for 2 weeks, Spain's shut down. Donald Trump won't let people from the UK into America, so there goes my New York plans. So it's definitely escalating.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about coronavirus for the whole of this episode. We've got a topic a little bit later on, which is sort of a bit of fun because it's a serious time in the world. I guess one thing which I've actually found over I've been following this sort of coronavirus thing since probably the middle of January, and obviously it's just everywhere now on social media. And the difference between sort of younger people who see stuff on social media and sort of the older demographic of people who just rely on traditional media. The different level of information and maybe knowledge that you have access to on social media is probably one of the only good things about social media, where you can see different standpoints of people who are in different countries and cities and what they're doing, as opposed to relying on traditionally what you'd call sort of more right-wing media to actually just tell you stuff. So I think I found that really interesting, just the way social media has maybe let younger people be more informed than the sort of older people out there.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. I think, we're talking about challenges of modern society. It probably is one of the few benefits of social media is that you can get probably much more knowledge around it all. And I suppose, the world challenge right now is, I guess, managing this coronavirus situation.
And making sure you have enough dry pasta and toilet paper, apparently, if you live in Australia.
Yeah, that's seeping out over here as well. So stocking up, but I think there's also a niceness with like we set up a online shop late last week to drop on Thursday, thinking that our first couple of days this week, and then we'll probably get some orders to work from home. They are still, doing online shopping and all that kind of stuff. So I think that helps with just a little bit of reminder. We're not facing nuclear war yet, but we all have to bunker down.
No, Woolies in the last hour here in Melbourne. We record this on a Sunday night, so in the last hour, Woolies has actually stopped doing deliveries of groceries.
Really?
Yeah, just due to unprecedented demand. You're literally booking a week plus in advance. So it's got to that stage where they've actually just shut it down. They said we can't actually fulfill the orders. So this is where we're at. So it's shopping wise, and it's like Christmas over here. It's just bedlam in the supermarkets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully, look, it's obviously a serious issue, but there's also an element that I think we just kind of need to be a bit calm and let it play itself out. It's probably at the stage where there's not going to be a significant amount of human intervention that's going to be able to affect how this will play out. It's just going to play out, and just everyone needs to be a little bit smarter and quite, do the precautions that are recommended.
Yeah, and just think about everyone else and not yourself the entire time, which is what a number of people seem to be prone to do. Just kind of think about whatever they want to do and just kind of go, stuff it, I'm going to do whatever. Maybe just think about the person, somebody's grandmother who, if they get this will die. But just think.
Mm. Yes, indeed.
But we'll move on to tonight's topic. I have a good segue. We're talking about how to segue from the seriousness of coronavirus into our topic this week, which is work faux pas. And I found one. I've actually lost a client due to coronavirus.
Really?
Yeah, I scheduled to have a face-to-face meeting with a new client this week, and I said, "Oh, listen, I'm basically our business policy is to take everything which has been a face-to-face meeting and now make it virtual for the foreseeable future, given everything which is going on with coronavirus." And the guy's come back and he said, "Oh, I'm an advocate of blah and blah, and working from home and things like that. But I think it's really important that as our first meeting, we have a face-to-face meeting." And I've written back. I've said, "Oh, well, I understand that. Like, I completely understand the importance of it, but I'm obviously not willing to budge on this. I think it's important that people maintain social distancing and those sort of measures. And it's just not something which I want to do at this stage. I can 100% give you a virtual meeting. We can 100% postpone it, or you can just cancel it and find a new accountant." And there we are.
Wow. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I would have thought the whole line of, yes, in other times, a face-to-face would absolutely occur. But,
Yeah, like we had one scheduled. Like, it wasn't
Wow.
like I was just avoiding scheduling one. We had one scheduled. The situation's changed. So, hey, how we can do this virtual? There's a virtual whiteboard tool that we can use. So we can have the same thing of basically being in the same room, but not being, just to minimize any sort of potential to pass it on. You don't have any symptoms. I don't have any symptoms, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well, the thing is, you can be holding it for 2 weeks without knowing.
Exactly.
And like you said, it's not about passing it on between two, young, healthy people. It's then if they then interact with, go and see their grandmother in an aged care home or something like that, then it's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, so I didn't think that was a work faux pas as such, but it does link coronavirus back to work. And you had a work faux pas this week, and when we're exchanging text messages during the week or WhatsApp messages about how the week was and what we might chat about this week, you had a good one.
Yeah, I did. I had a much lighter-hearted one than that. So still somewhat new in my role here in London. So I'm not on all like the email lists. So actually it was like something that came out in regards to health precautions around coronavirus. And our manager had sent us to our, I guess, to the leadership team, hey guys, just checking that you guys get all these emails. And I responded back saying, no, I don't. I've CC'd, I've included the internal comms email here, that's attached in the email to speed up the process. Little did I know that was not an internal comms email. That was the mailing list of the entire leadership team of the business. So I got a very quick email back and a very surprisingly for the British direct thing of don't include those email lists in there. That's now probably hit everyone.
Oh, gold.
So that was, and funnily enough, I've gotten, through probably a decade of working without, like everyone says, there's that one thing where you just stuff up and you hit reply all, or you send that email to the person that you never intended to. And I was like, always a bit smart. I'm like, yeah, I've never done that. Alas, this week, I now have joined those people. Thankfully, it wasn't anything, insulting or derogatory to anyone.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, you're right, though. We have all been there. I've certainly done that in the workplace. I remember going back when I was employed probably 10 years-ish ago, and I was sitting next to somebody and I was changing roles. I was moving upstairs. I've been sitting next to this person who just been annoying me for weeks and weeks, just with questions about nothing, and I just wanted to get my work done because I knew that I was moving upstairs. I just want to get all my stuff done, hand over to somebody and be done with it. And the person just kept on in my ear all the time. And we had an instant messenger, a bit like Skype instant messenger, or I guess a bit like what Slack's like. And we just instant message people all day, despite being in the same office, which sounds ridiculous, but everyone still does that.
I know we do it. It's pretty bad. It surprises people when you actually get off your ass and can talk to them.
Yeah, it's easy just to sit with the coffee and just type away. So I'm just typing a message, meant to be to my mate who worked with me, and I was like typing a message going, my God, I just can't wait till I move upstairs so I can be away from X. Send. X kind of turns around and goes, hey, Kane. I'm like, yeah. You think you sent that to the wrong person? And I've kind of, I've kind of gone, well, there's two ways to approach this. You can either grovel and you can apologize and stuff, or you can go, you know what, stuff it. I'm going upstairs. And I said, yeah, but it's true. So what are you going to do? I'm leaving at the end of the week, and you've been bugging me. So it is what it is. And that was
I think you've got to own it.
Yeah, I just owned it. And that was the end of the conversation for the week. Well, I haven't replied all. I've certainly sent stuff to the wrong person before.
So it didn't. So how did the rest of the week play out?
Oh, it was cold.
Anymore?
No, it was cold. It was pretty much like I was self-isolated myself in that pod.
Oh wow, that's cold.
But we actually, another one from back in those times was one of my friends there was the son of the managing partner of the accounting firm. So they had the same last name, and all our email addresses were initial dot last name or initial last name. So when you search by last name, in that instance, you'd see the managing partner and the son. And the son was like about my age, so he came out with us on like go out on Friday nights and stuff like that, and using the friendship group. So he just sent each other emails around, and so they're just talking about sport one day. And I did shave my ankles because I'd sprained my ankle at soccer. And so people, bit of banter. People were taking the Mickey out of me, and it goes around on email. And one of the guys is like, writes the email list of everyone. I'll hear Kane with his, insert derogatory term, shaved ankles, sends it to the managing partner by mistake instead of the son. So next morning I get, because I didn't notice because no one had actually written back. And the next morning I get into the lift, and the managing partner's in the lift, and he goes, shave your ankles, do you, Kane? I'm like, what the? Like, how does he know that? And then we've gone back and see the emails. It's gone to him instead of his son by mistake. So the managing partner was hanging it on me.
Was he quite good about it though?
Oh yeah, he thought it was hilarious. But he would have just seen me turn bright red.
Oh, you would have, wouldn't you? The other one that I've done is I've been out of the cafe, and I think I might have been texting TK or somebody anyway, texting somebody. And it was like, what are you doing type thing. And I was like, read back something like, I have to go into this ridiculous 3-hour long meeting. And I just can't understand like any meeting that's not like a board meeting or anything like that. Like it was just a team meeting or whatever, should ever go for 3 hours. And I've hit send on the text. And I'd like just gotten a text message not too long ago about one of the like people that was leading the meeting. And I pinged it straight back to them, and I was just like, oh shit. Nothing was said. They were so uncomfortably awkward about it. They didn't say anything. I walked in, they were completely fine, blah, blah, blah. Like 2 weeks later, we're going to try having an hour meeting. So I kind of think that was actually a good outcome. But yeah, the way that I said it was just like, this is just, I think it was to do, like, I think it was with a university role. So I was just like, typical academia wankery. And yeah, that one went down well.
Well, you're actually right though. There's no reason for a meeting like that to go for 3 hours.
Nah, I probably just should put in something around like ego and academic wankery, but it got the end result, because we a couple of like weeks later, a few people came up and was like, a few people were talking and was like, I'm really glad our meetings have gone down to an hour. And I was like, do I mention that?
That's brilliant.
No. That one worked out all right.
Well, we won't share Maddie's one that he shared with us via WhatsApp, but I do have one which is, I won't say it's that similar, but it's kind of similar. Again, emails just being addressed to the wrong person.
I do think we need to start with Maddie's one next episode though, because that one is gold.
We'll see if Maddie will allow that one to see the light of day. But this one was not too dissimilar, where it was something was sent to the wrong person, and it happened to be a partner at an accounting firm sending an email to the PA, his PA at the accounting firm. And it wasn't meant to go to her, but it did. It was meant to go to somebody else who had similar initials. And it went to her, and it had an attachment of, this is going back sort of 15, 20 years. It had, I guess what you call a fairly inappropriate video attached to it, and it went to the PA. So yeah, he had to apologize and really outline that he didn't mean to send that particular type of file to her, and he wasn't implying anything at all, and it was meant to go to somebody else who was not her. And I'm really, really sorry. Like, now that would probably end up almost rightly, although we can almost all make innocent mistakes in sending emails to the wrong person, as we've both illustrated. That ended up in HR and probably a sexual harassment suit.
Yeah, now it would be, they're probably lucky that it happened 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because, one of the modern challenges is you definitely cannot do that.
Which is
rightly so.
Yeah. But this was absolutely just a slip of the finger, like literally just sent it to the wrong, to the wrong person. It wasn't directed at them deliberately. But yeah, I don't think that matters now. Like, it is, even if it's a mistake, you have to take ownership of the mistake.
Yeah, one of the common ones that I have seen as well, in various different workplaces, is people make the mistake of talking about other people in the worlds of open offices. And there's so many times, thankfully, it has not happened to me, because I do try and avoid that, but so many times where the other person would just be around the corner and they're implying like, they hamper this, they do that, or they're just absolute nerds, they don't do anything like this, and that kind of thing. It's like, you turn around the corner, or you see somebody, like you're sitting at the desk and you just watch the interaction from afar, and you just see the body language just drop out of them.
Yeah, it's like, he's right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, but I suppose, actually, I've got a good one. So we were thinking about basically being grounded at home. So we'll all be on a lot of video calls, I suppose. But with the role here, we've got 3 different offices. So we've got people in the suburbs of London, we've got people up in Manchester, and we've got people in the city. So we were on there was probably 8 of us all on a monthly leadership thing that we look at. And generally you're on mute. So there's only one person talking, you've got your Skype, you're on mute. And then not only was there like us leadership plan, but the person who's above all of us, who's boss, comes in for an hour of this meeting. It was a 2-hour meeting, like looking at a bunch of stuff, working through it. It's like a workshop, I guess. And then for the last hour, the boss comes into it and gets across some things, and we make some plans. Anyway, everybody's kind of like, if you're not involved in something, you're sort of sitting there, or you'll punch out an email or something. So there's this guy who, we're all on mute, and the boss's boss is talking. And the next thing is like, you suddenly just hear this, yes, there's something wrong with accessing my account. That's what I'm calling to get help with. Like across the whole team. And then the big boss turns around and goes, person X, I don't think you're on mute anymore.
Oh no.
He's waiting you. He's basically in this meeting calling some like I don't know, calling a bank or calling like your telco or something.
Oh, he's like, the big boss man is going through
the big
stuff.
Boss man is presenting and everything, and he's just come off mute, and everybody's heard it.
Oh man.
So that one I thought was that one I was like, ooh, glad that was not me.
Well, these are the perils of working remotely, and with coronavirus, becoming more prevalent, it is going to be more common for people to work from home. It's another thing. Looking at social media, people talking about working from home more and using Zoom and using Skype to do video calls and stuff like that. There is a famous I guess case or incident on WebEx, very similar, where people were sharing video, and the guy hadn't actually turned his camera off, and he's in the middle of the work meeting, and he maybe had scheduled a bit of I don't know, one-on-one self-care with himself, and has got it out, and pretty much the whole team could see him taking care of whatever business he was taking care of. Somebody pointed out, and he's pushed pause or exit meeting, and when you do that, at that point in time, it actually, the last image of you on the screen froze. So it was just his sort of thing at attention, and
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of things wrong with that particular story, but I guess as we move towards more video calls, and it's probably
Gotta be
uber careful. Yeah, be very, very careful that you turn the kill switch off on your webcam.
Indeed. So I suppose as we move into our lockdown that is coming, get across technology and know when you're on mute and know when your video's turned off.
Absolutely, and that is one of the challenges that we face as modern men. It's just technology. It's ever evolving.
Indeed.
I think it's a good place to wrap it up for this week. Remember to subscribe to Daddy Eats Last on iTunes if you haven't done already. And while you're there, please leave a review. Also, tell your mates about the podcast, and they should turn their video off on their webcam, especially if they're guys. Most of all, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week for another episode, or should I say serving, of Daddy Eats Last. How's that for a dad joke? Stay safe, everyone. Catch you next week.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.